wings to rise from the ashes.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 35 deadline stream. Only 3 to go after this. My team is looking pretty good this week. I'm not sure whether to buy Gabriel. I might well do it by the end of the deadline stream, but I'm thinking about just rolling, to be honest. The team is looking pretty good. I can just get 1 or 2 Palace defenders next week. Then maybe get Gabriel in 37, maybe get Saka in 37. Who knows? Yeah, probably gonna roll, I think. But I'm not against just buying Gabriel. I just don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, rolling's always good. Looking tanned. Yeah, I mean, we've had like 2 days of sun in Galway recently, so that's enough for me. It's enough. Which combo on wildcards, Stack and Wilson or Gross and Tavernier? Stack and Wilson, I think. You need Gabriel. I mean, yeah, Gabriel is pretty good, of course. Wildcard 35, Palmer and Hinchelwood or Palmer and Rogers or Rogers and Hinchelwood. Probably Palmer and Rogers if you can afford it, but there's a big difference in price between all those players, right? Best Arsenal picks for wildcard, probably double defense plus an attacker. I mean, honestly, it's probably Gabriel, Raya, and Rice. Probably. That might be different by the time we get to 37, but if you want an attacker that's going to play every minute of every game while the title race is open, it's Rice. I mean, you can go for Eze as a punt, but I wouldn't be 100% sure about the minutes. I like the option, but there's some risk there. Harry mentioned Semenyo wasn't in training pictures, but am I right in saying there's only about 8 pictures that have been released? I mean, if there's any doubts on Semenyo, I'll probably just play Hill rather than selling this week. But yes, move to Cherky would be pretty good if Semenyo's out. But I'd rather make the decision next week, ideally. Same team as you, but Kukurea for Strauch. 4 free transfers in the bank. Game week 5 roll. Oh my days. Game week 5 roll or Kukurea and Senesi and Semenyo to Gabriel Lacroix. I don't know why you're buying Lacroix this week unless I'm missing something. Game week 36, Palmer and Van Heck to Saka and Munoz. Yeah, I mean, that all sounds pretty rubbish to me, I think. Like, unless I'm missing something. I don't get why you're selling Senesi to Lacroix this week. I mean, just do Kukurea to Gabriel and chill. Like, selling Van Heck, fine, I guess, for Munoz, but you'd be better off selling Senesi for Munoz next week, no? Unless I'm missing something. Semenyo to Cherky if you want to do it, fine. Sorry, when I say it all sounds a bit rubbish, that's a bit harsh, but I think there's a bunch of moves you don't have to do there right now. What funny FPL habits do you have? I move my captaincy around for squad morale. Like, nothing like that, I don't think. Hopefully it works for you, though. Hopefully it works. Why buying Palace players when they may not play against Everton and second game is Man City? Well, the hope would be they play against Everton, right? You're taking a risk. Same team as you, except I've got Gabriel for Hill. All right, what a show-off. I've got Gabriel for Hill. Thiago for João Pedro and 5 free transfers. Who to bring to not burn the transfer? I don't know. Like, people keep asking me, if you had 5 transfers, what upgrades would you make? I'd probably just get Gabriel and Roy. You've already got Gabriel and you've got Thiago as well. So you're just in a great position. I don't know. I mean, what transfer are you thinking of doing? Thinking of Semenyo to Cherky now and 2 to 3 Palace to us. I mean, that sounds good, yeah? Sounds fair to me. If you bought Gabriel for Senesi, who would you bench? The same bench. Is that not really old? Like, people keep asking me that question. Maybe I'm being a bit. Is it not really obvious who I would bench? The same bench. Like, why would I bring Gabriel in to then play someone else off the bench? Am I missing something? You're not the first person that's asked me that question today, and I feel like if I do Senesi to Gabriel, and I'm playing Senesi, I would just play Gabriel. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't buy him, right? Like, there would be no point in bringing in Gabriel to play Hill, for example. Hall and Van Dijk for Saliba and O'Reilly. Yeah, sounds fine. I've got a very similar team as you. Scott instead of Gross. Forgot to bench boost in 33. Is this the best week for bench boost? You'd have to look. You'd have to look. Have you got a better bench this week? Sorry, have you got a better bench than this week for the rest of the weeks? Because obviously when Brighton players have got a better fixture next week, but then they'll probably be in your 11. So 36 might work better for you. But you'd have to have a quick look. I mean, I've not looked at all the remaining weeks to check bench weeks, so I've already used it, obviously. But I mean, you've got 2 Bournemouth against Palace at home. That's probably about as good as it's going to get for you, right? But you'll have to look at what your bench is going to look like, bearing in mind all the transfers and stuff that you would make over the next couple of weeks as well. I have 1 free transfer thinking Tavernier to Rogers or roll. I would roll, take a hit to bring Harden in for Bowen. For captaincy reasons, I don't hate it. Although you could just captain Fernandez or Palmer or someone like that. But you'll definitely want Haaland for next week, right? Gibbs, White, Anderson, and Dewsbury Hall, or Saka, Anderson, and Lefay. So basically, Gibbs, White, and Dewsbury Hall, or Saka and Lefay. Probably Saka and Lefay. Would you sell Watkins to Haaland for a -4 or wait for next week? I'd be tempted to wait because I think Watkins is all right this week. Got Goodmanson injured, but only 1 free transfer. Direct transfer to Strauch or just play Van Heck or Van Dijk. Van Van Dijk's obviously away to United, and Van Heck's also away. I'd be tempted to roll, yeah, and just play one of them. Probably... I don't know which I'd play, actually. Probably Van Heck. And just get the extra transfer. Dawson taking a punt on Casemiro. I think it's fine. I think players like Casemiro, Bruno G, etc., they're fine. They don't strike. They're like solid picks, but they don't strike me as punt material, really. But it's fine, I guess. I'd want a more attacking player if I was taking a punt, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm bench boosting. Current bench is Darlow, Muki, Ailey, Enzo, Sarr. Sell Enzo or Sarr and Hutu, Rogers, Eze, Gibbs, White, Sharda or roll. I mean, I'd be tempted to roll, to be honest. I mean, Sarr might get rotated, but then you probably want him for next week, right? So I think you take the risk. Yeah, I wouldn't buy Gibbs White before Chelsea away. Sharda's not terrible, to be honest, but I'd probably just roll. Strauch, Rogers, Anderson, Bowen, is that? Or Saliba, Gibbs White, Casemiro, Calvert-Lewin. Probably the former for this week, if I can just remind myself who West Ham have got. I think they got someone up. No, they got someone away, haven't they? Oh, Brentford, of course. Yeah, probably the first lot, I think. Senesi or Kukureya. Senesi, play well back over any of Palmer, João Pedro, Gross, Semenyo. I'd play him over Gross. Bench one of Hill, Strauch, Tavernier, Hill. I got my free hit and triple captain help. I don't really know what is a great. Well, you could free hit next week and get 6 doublers in, and then triple captain either game week 38 as a punt or an Arsenal player in 37. Don't hate that. Depends how well your team is set up for the double in 36, I suppose. If you really want to triple captain Harden, then just free hit whichever week your team looks terrible in the other 3. You've only got 3 more weeks to decide, right? So which week does your team look the worst? 35, 37, or 38? And that's your 2 options. You free hit 36 or you triple captain 36. And then you use one in the other. On wildcard, I wanted to keep Okafor as he's done well over the last 2 weeks with him being subbed early, often in the knock. Who'd you like for a nice punt? Arsenal. I mean, there's not really many punts I like, if I'm completely honest. So Eze probably from Arsenal, because I think the fixtures are just good from now until the end of the season. I haven't actually heard many other punts people talking about that I think are like really great. Like Okafor, you could even say he's not really a punt at this point because so many people are buying him. So I'll say Eze. It depends how much money you've got to spend, right? Saka if you've got more money. I'm interested to hear who people are actually punting on, like genuinely good options. If you've got a punt, let me know in the chat and I'll go through some of them in a second. Stick to wildcard 33, free hit 34, bench boost 35, or get Palace assets and bench boost 36. I mean, if you've prepped for a 35 bench, but Palace players won't be on your bench next week. So if you've prepped for a 35 bench boost, I don't know why you would delay it. Bench 1, Enzo, Hill, Van Heck, or BL. Van Heck. I think BL's a bit of a risk, but I'd probably risk it over Van Heck. Palmer to Saka or Gordon to Eze or Palmer to Eze. I could bench Gordon this week and play Hill. Also, do you think Gordon is a 0 or 90? No, not necessarily. I would roll and just bench Gordon and play Hill. Thoughts on bench boost? Darlow, Mukiele, Elliot Anderson, Wilson. Who have Sunderland got? Got to remind myself. Wolves away. I mean, that's not bad apart from Wilson, right? Elliot Anderson's okay to play against Chelsea. Again, there's only 4 weeks left. Are you going to have a better bench than that? Because if not, I would just use it. Like, if other weeks look better, but you've got to use like 2 transfers to get to it, it's probably not worth it. Bench 1, João Pedro, Enzo, Tavernier, or Semenyo. Arguably Semenyo out of those. Any Palmer news? Nope. I wouldn't really expect any news, to be honest, anyway. He played off the bench in the FA Cup, right? So he's fit as far as we know. They don't play till Monday, I believe, as well, 3 o'clock. So he should be fine. Start 2 of Gordon, Van Dijk, and Elliot Anderson. Oof, I'd probably bench Van Dijk out of those. You think it's a big plus to do Bowen to Haaland for 35? Well, I'd rather have Haaland. Pretty much the same team as you. Is Hill a possibility instead of João Pedro or Palmer? Not for me. Yeah, if you want to get Thiago for João Pedro because you've got luxury transfers, go for it. But yeah, I'm not going to start Hill over either of those. I think it's viable if you want to do that, but Isak is the punt. United defense is rubbish. Yeah, if you've got 10.3 million to spend on the forward, Bruno G, I just like. I mean, Bruno G's fine. Like, is that really the most interesting punt we can come up with? A guy that's basically like a Casemiro. I mean, Matoma, fine, but it's Newcastle away this week. Sarr is a punt, sure, but you want him next week really rather than this week. I think people are going to be hard pushed to find a punt that I think is actually genuinely good. Like, to be fair, if you're chasing a lot and you just want to go for something different like Bruno Gomes, absolutely fine. But surely we can come up with something more exciting than Bruno G, no? I say we. I can't come up with anything more exciting. I'm really struggling with it. I just saw someone say that somebody was going to... Oh, sorry. Are we sure Palmer's going to play? I mean, as sure as I can be. I don't see why he wouldn't. We haven't got any news, I don't think, to tell us either. Richarlison, I don't think I would go to Richarlison now because Solanke's out for 35, but De Zerbi didn't say how much longer he'd be out after that, so it's a bit risky going for Richarlison. Yeah, Eze, fine, but again, everyone's talking about him now, so I don't know how punty he is. I mean, his ownership's still fairly low, so... Interesting. Oh yeah, I spelled training wrong. Fair enough. Thoughts on Frimpong and Dorgu on wildcard? I just don't think Liverpool's fixtures are good enough, and you should just go Van Dijk, really. Dorgu, again, he's only just back from injury. I don't think you can be confident enough in the minutes. Yeah, Watkins and Rodgers, I don't hate for the next two. Although there is some risk with the Burnley game, I think. Better punt for rank gain on wildcard 35. Bruno G or Eze? I think Eze. I think he's much more interesting pick. Is Thiago on wildcard 35 okay if bench boosting 36? Yes. Going well back in Haaland, don't fancy Calvert-Lewin. Then yeah, I think so. Like, it's not an ideal week to bench boost. So if you got one player with a slightly bad fixture, it's fine. -4 for Haaland and Calvert-Lewin or -4 for Haaland and Canvo. Probably Calvert-Lewin, but it depends who you're selling. On bench boost and own Gordon with 1 free transfer. Risk Gordon or sell for someone similar price. Best replacement for the rest of the season. Probably like an Eze or a Rice, honestly. I don't hate Brighton midfielders, but it feels a bit rubbish to sell Gordon for Gross or something like that. I think Gordon will get minutes. I just don't know if it'll be from the start. I would be tempted to risk it and just save your free transfer. Confidence in Saka's start, continued play over Eze. I think because he was benched in the Champions League, Saka will probably start, but how good the minutes will be. Like, an early sub is probably, like, almost guaranteed. And then you got game week 36 to worry about as well. But you think if they can play him, they will. 600k punting on Isak. Thoughts? I think it's fine. It's just quite expensive. So you need to factor in whether that money gets in the way, I suppose. I mean, it's Man United away. Man United defense is not what... It's fine. I don't know, 10.3 million for a punt on Isak for Man United away. I can't get excited about any of these players. It's fine. That's about as much as I'm willing to go to. For the rest of the season, I suppose, Liverpool's fixtures are okay. I mean, they're not actually that good, are they? Let's be real. Apart from game week 38, I don't think they're that good. Isn't there like Chelsea away or Villa away and Chelsea at home in there? I mean, Villa might be on the beach soon. Man United away, Chelsea at home, Villa away, 10.3 million. It's fine. I don't have a better option for you that's low owned. Cucurella or João Pedro? João Pedro. Tavernier or Gross to start? Tavernier. Answers on screen, to be fair. 5 free chances thinking Semenyo to Cherky and Cucurella to Gabriel, or should I save them to get Triple Palace? I mean, you'll still have 4 free transfers next week, right? They seem like pretty good moves if you're not fully sure about Semenyo. Enzo, Hill, João Pedro, Tavernier, bench 2. Hill and Enzo, probably. Thoughts on differential captaining Haaland, Calvert-Lewin, sorry. I think it's fine, yeah. He's probably in my top 5, I would say, this week. Cherky or Gibbs White for Semenyo. Cherky did template wildcard. It's okay, but 30 points behind him. I really want to use 1 free transfer to make ground over someone who also did the template. Who to bring in? Thiago, Saka, Eze, anyone else? Yeah, João Pedro to Thiago is fine. If you're going to go punty, I'll go Saka. Like, could you do like Semenyo to Saka and then Palmer to Cherky next week or something like that, maybe? If not, just Palmer straight. The thing is, you could do Palmer to Saka, but I don't think Saka's better than Palmer this week. So it doesn't feel great. So maybe João Pedro to Thiago, but Thiago's super high owned. But if you're only worried about your mini league, then I guess it doesn't matter about everyone else's ownership. I have the same team as you, except Enzo instead of Bruno. What should I do? Play Bruno, Enzo, buy Bruno. I mean, I would get Bruno, yeah, probably. Probably for Enzo, yeah. Worth selling Bowen for a -4 to bring in Calvert-Lewin. Nope. Thoughts on starting Milenkovic ahead of Senesi? Nope. Against Chelsea away? No. Already had Gabriel on my team and 1.7 million in the back. I was trying to think of whether that is the correct Forest fixture, right? They have got Chelsea away. We're talking about Chelsea away or Palace at home. Yeah, I'm definitely playing Senesi. Already had Gabriel on my team and 1.7 in the bank. Went from Chow to Saliba. Now I'm thinking should have gone from Kelleher to Raya. Yeah, well, it's done now. Don't worry about it. I mean, Kelleher's fine this week. I think that's fine. I wouldn't be stressing too much. Midfielder, Bruno and Burmo, Rogers, Szoboszlai, Wilson. Any recommendation or just roll? Thinking of Eze or Mainu. I wouldn't get Eze or Mainu in for any of those players, I don't think. I mean, Wilson's got Arsenal away, so if you're having to play him this week, then yes, maybe you go Eze, but if you can bench him, I'd just hold him. In Burmo, replacement ideas, Saka, Bruno Fernandes. I mean, who don't you own? Cherky, Fernandes, Saka, Eze. Yeah, probably one of them. You're going to tell me you own all those players now. Funds are really tight. Should I get Gabriel now? If you need a new defender and you can afford Gabriel, I would buy Gabriel. Shout out to Big Dave in the living room. Shout out to Big Dave in the living room. If you had Gabriel instead of Hill, who would you bench? Senesi. Eze, Saka or Semenyo? Trivial, but still asking. Well, because of the double next week, I'd rather have Semenyo, to be honest with you. But if you could go Saka first and then buy Cherky or something like that, that would be good. Yeah, Saka is a risk, but people are asking for punts, right, in differentials. I agree. I think Saka starts, but he probably gets subbed early. As your team stand, would you cover Arsenal attack and defence? Who would you bring in? Yeah, Gabriel and Saka. Or maybe Eze if you need a little bit less money. You don't need to cover the Arsenal attack if you've got good attackers. That doesn't really matter. I think that's more for people that want to do something a bit different. Gabriel's a different story because he's just really good pick. Right now I'm feeling the roll though. I feel like I'm gonna roll. Just hope for the best. Hope Gabriel doesn't have a 15-pointer in him. Come on, Harry Wilson. Score a goal this week. Start one, Creepy, Gordon, or Chow. I'd be tempted to say Creepy, to be honest with you. Like, he should start again, I think. Do I start Cucurella or double Bournemouth defence and O'Reilly? I go double Bournemouth defence. Yeah, look, Gabriel's a good pick. You're not going to hear me say otherwise. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't buy him. I'm just saying I might not buy him. Bench Cucurella or Van Heck. Van Heck. There's always that irrational fear of the 15-pointer. I know. Whenever we assess players as the ones we're scared of or ones we want to bring in, we always picture the 15-pointer, even though most players don't get double digits most weeks. Just got to hope that Palace are a bit hungover, but they can still score against Bournemouth. Would you do the Gabriel move if you were going to have 3 free transfers next week after the move? Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like I should do it anyway, to be honest. I suspect if I don't, I'm going to buy Munoz next week. Why aren't you playing Gross against Newcastle? But who would I bench? I think people are a little bit too high on Brighton attackers at the moment, just because of how, at the end of the day, we bought them for Burnley in a double game week. They don't have either of those things now. I know Newcastle aren't playing well, but I still don't expect Brighton to go there and smash them. So in my opinion, Gross is my worst attacker. So therefore, he's on the bench. Leading my mini league, need to start 2. Van Dijk, Krupi, Tavernier, or Hill. Or use my 1 free transfer on Van Dijk to Saliba. No way. Tavernier and Krupi probably. I mean, you could definitely argue that Hill is a safer pick than Krupi because he'll definitely start and he's good for DEFCONs. But I'd be tempted to go for the 2 attackers. Definitely Tavernier and then Hill or Krupi. Start Dallo or Van Dijk. The thing is, Van Dijk's got the DEFCONs, right? I think I'd start the guy at home, though. Fulham at Arsenal's bogey team, they always get results against them during this time of the season. You know what? Sarr always scores against Liverpool as well. I know what you mean, but like it doesn't really matter. Right? Arsenal defense is great; they're fully capable of getting a clean sheet. I hope Fulham score. I hope you're right, but the fact they've always done well before doesn't necessarily matter to this particular season. You know. Do 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 do. Wildcard 35 for triple captain 36 and bench boost 37, and the three options: one, Sarr, Dewsbury Hall, Saliba with 2 million in the bank; Eze, Dewsbury Hall, Lacroix with 1.7, or Saka, Stack, and Camvo. I'm not sure about the Camvo pick. I mean, presumably he will be nailed. I do like Saka and Stack though. Sarr. Sorry, I didn't even really read Sarr as a doubler. Like the thing is, Crystal Palace did win 3-1. So if they're comfortable in the second leg, maybe they get an opportunity to rest players. Probably, like I don't mean from the start, but like in that European game, maybe like if they're 2-0 up and they got a 5-1 aggregate score, maybe like Sarr and that come off with 70 minutes gone or something. I think if they all start, Sarr, Dewsbury Hall, Saliba is the one, but I'm not sure I like any of them, honestly. I'm struggling a little bit. I like Saka, but I don't know if I like Camvo enough. So I think I've got to say Eze, Dewsbury Hall, Acquire. No, do you know what? I think Sarr, Dewsbury Hall, Saliba. Because I'd want the guaranteed minutes from the Arsenal player, I think. Thoughts on O'Reilly captain? I mean, it's fine, but it's an away game. You need the clean sheet despite his goal threat. I just don't think he's better than... Like, I would captain Haaland, Fernandes, Palmer, Calvert-Lewin, Thiago, all ahead of O'Reilly, probably. I only have 0.1 in the bank. I'm transferring Rodgers, Porro, and Richarlison out before game week 37. I'm going to bench boost 37. Some replacement suggestions. For 37 specifically... I mean, Brentford have got Palace at home. So maybe someone like Colin. I mean, Everton, surely if your bench boost 37, you're looking at Michael Keane against Sunderland at home. Maybe even a double up. Dewsbury Hall and Keane, surely. Or Njai and Keane. And then a forward. Calvert-Lewin against Brighton at home. Beto, maybe. Let's go all in on Everton. And 45 months, how is it going? Start one of Matoma, Senesi, Kukureya. I'm tempted to say Senesi, to be honest. Play Raya or Darlow. Raya. For wildcard, Haaland for sure, but Thiago, João Pedro, or Calvert-Lewin. Do you know what? I'd be tempted by Calvert-Lewin just because João Pedro... But I definitely wouldn't go João Pedro either way. Thiago's just got Man City away next week. Calvert-Lewin's got Spurs. I'd be tempted to say Calvert-Lewin. Let me rephrase. I will do Palmer to Saka or Gordon to Eze, which you hate the least. Gordon to Eze, because Gordon's a minute's risk. Need Wilson replacement. Got Semenyo, Rice, Fernandez. Cherky, if you've got a spare Man City spot. I'm really struggling with midfielders because I don't think there's any great ones that are like amazing for the rest of the season. Necessarily. Like, you could go Rodgers for 2 weeks and then move him on if you've got the spare transfers. You could go for Palmer if you've got the money and then move him on after next week. If you want someone to come in and play the remaining 4 game weeks, then potentially it's got to be someone like... Even Eze, there's just some risk there. Sarr, but I don't know if he definitely starts game week 35, but he's okay for 36 probably, if you're willing to take that risk. I'm really struggling for who the best midfielders are at the moment. I don't think there's that many who are great every week. Like I'm quite happy with Gross, but would I really want to bring Gross in before Newcastle away? Okafor's a risk now. I've got Tavernier and I quite like him, but I could always just sell him after this week. Rodgers, maybe, for Spurs at home, Burnley away, and then reassess. Depends how many transfers you've got. Would you pick Bowen and Thiago instead of João Pedro and Calvert-Lewin on wildcard? I mean, I would pick Thiago and Calvert-Lewin, to be honest. I mean, I actually think, if it has to be those two combos, I actually think João Pedro and Calvert-Lewin might be better. But I think the answer is Calvert-Lewin and Thiago. Is there going to be a Gabriel price rise this week? Potentially. I mean, I assume a lot of people are buying him, although a lot of people already own him as well. Do you mean like tonight, or probably not to, like for game week 35, but maybe for game week 36? Start one of Ampadu, Welbeck, or Hill. Hill, but it's tight between him and Welbeck. With only 4 game weeks left, is there anything in particular double game week fixture swings we need to save transfers for? Well, you've got Arsenal against Burnley at home in 37. You've got a double game week next week. They're probably the 2 main things, I would say. Start 2 of Njai, Szoboszlai, or Chow. I'd bench Szoboszlai, I think. Took Bruno out. Oh, do you know what? Szoboszlai's on penalties anyway, no Salah. I'd bench Chow. Took Bruno out for double game week bench boost, 3 free transfers. Getting back for Palmer, or use the transfers to prioritise Arsenal. I would maybe just roll. And get Fernandes back after this week for Palmer. So get him back for Palmer, but don't do it this week. Need to have Cunha, Biol, Tavernier, Hill, Senesi. To play, Tavernier and Senesi probably. I think Cunha's a bit of a risk. Wilson's the boring midfield pick that's good. Yeah, that is true, actually. If you can bench Wilson this week, he's pretty good for the next 3. But you don't want him this week, right? So if someone's looking for a Wilson replacement, the replacement can't be Wilson. Yeah, I don't think you can go Okafor if you don't own him already. Like, if you want to risk it against Burnley at home because you already own him, that's fine. But I don't think you can buy him. Honestly, which midfielders are good for every game week remaining? I'm not sure there are any. Like, any. Like, with guaranteed minutes, apart from Bruno Fernandes, with guaranteed minutes, good fixtures the whole way through. Isak should get penalties. That's true. Maybe. But I think it'll be Szoboszlai. Declan Rice. Yeah, he's a solid pick. Solid pick. But when people say they want someone a bit different, Rice. I'm not having Bruno G. He's fine, but I feel like you need a few transfers to move some players around. Yeah, Gross is okay. He's okay. But again, it doesn't feel right to buy him before Newcastle away. It doesn't feel right to buy Gibbs White before Chelsea away. I'm happy enough with my midfield, but it's like I am pretty happy with my midfield as long as they keep starting. I don't hate buying Chelsea players, but then it's Liverpool away next week. I don't know. It's a weird stage of the season, really. Or maybe I'm just an idiot, and there's loads of great players. I'm just missing them all. That is possible. In fact, it's very possible. Have to -4 to bring Haaland in for Ekitike. Who do I sell for the other transfer to raise the funds? Bowen for Calvert-Lewin or Van Dijk for a Palace defender? I would be tempted to get Calvert-Lewin and then get the Palace defender next week. Start Gordon over Semenyo. I probably wouldn't. Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? What? No idea what that means. Leave Biol on first 11 lineup or bench him and play Van Heck for Fana. I would risk Biol. 5 free transfer with similar team to you. What would you recommend? Probably get Gabriel. I mean, the thing... In terms of free hit triple captain, you're using 1 in 36 and then you're figuring out the best week for the other one, essentially. So I don't think you need free hit this week. So figure it out next week. I'd probably get Gabriel with one of my 5 free transfers and then decide whether to free hit or triple captain next week and then use the other one in one of the other 2 weeks. You've only got 2 weeks to figure out after that, right? Senesi versus Tavernier. I mean, if your team looks fine next week, then you probably just free hit 38 and triple captain next week, right? Senesi versus Tavernier. Have your team, but Gabriel, not Hill. Yeah, Tavernier. Got Darlow in goal and O'Reilly, Gabriel in defence. Should I start Strauch or spread the risk and start Senesi? What's the risk, though? If the Leeds defender is the better option, why is that risky? So, yeah, I would just start Strauch. Which 3 would you bench out of these 4 in Burmo, Sarr, Chow, and Hall? I mean, Hall got benched recently, didn't he? He probably does come back in. It's not a guarantee, though, is it? Sarr's not a guaranteed to start either. I think because of that, I'd bench the defender. So Hall. Thoughts on Bruno G? He's fine. He's fine and not much more. I mean, let me just quickly look up, just in case I'm missing something. Let me just look up his underlying numbers. 0.15 non-penalty expected goals per 90, 0.17 expected assists. Yeah, but basically, Bruno Guimaraes is a worse Declan Rice. And I don't think many people want to buy Declan Rice right now. I know Bruno G went through that stage of getting returns every single week, but he did overperform, right? He got a bit lucky. So he's fine because I think Declan Rice is also fine. But this idea that Bruno G is this like attacking differential everyone wants to bring in, I just not having it at all. Arsenal fan here, Gabriel will score against Fulham. Okay. Are you rolling the obvious roll or buying the obvious defender? I'm doing one of those two things, yeah. Current status is probably roll. Good luck this week. Same to you. How good was the PSG buying game? Did you catch it? I did, and it was great. It was great. Like, I'm not having it. Look, maybe this. I'm not having all this. The defenders made mistakes. Blah blah blah. It was just such a great attacking game. Who cares about the defensive stuff? Let's see some goals. If I want Gabriel, then I also have to sell Palmer. A Palmer and Senesi to Gabriel and Eze a good option? No, I would definitely roll that. That sounds horrible to me. Not horrible, but that's a little bit too much just to get Gabriel. Plus, you've got to use 2 transfers to do it. Start 1. Cunha, Hill, or Hinchelwood. Are Brighton players really that bad this week? No, but I'd rather start Hill. Opinion on Calvert-Lewin is the thing is, people said it was like the best game they've ever watched. Maybe that's true. I mean, I gotta be honest, I can't really remember all the matches I've ever watched. But like, wasn't the World Cup final between Argentina and France like really good? And also because it was a World Cup final, there's much more on it, right? Got that save from Martinez right at the end. Was it Martinez? I think it was. Or was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Martinez. Like, it was a really good game, but it feels like there's a bit of recency bias to call it the best game ever. I mean, maybe it was. Like, again, I can't remember every game I've ever watched, but the game that sticks out is the World Cup final between Argentina and France. Especially what was riding on it as well. Opinion on Calvert-Lewin as a differential captain. Probably in my top 5, yeah. Quite like him. Start 1. Mbeumo, Van Dijk, Szoboszlai. I mean, the Man United-Liverpool game where Man United won 4-3 in the FA Cup like a year or two ago. I mean, that was pretty damn good. Was it better quality attacking-wise than PSG Bayern? Maybe not, but it was a freaking great game. What about the Chelsea-Man City game that was like 4-4 not recently, but wasn't it 4-4 a few years ago? Start 1. Mbeumo, Van Dijk, Szoboszlai. Mbeumo, Semenyo to Cherki, Saliba to Gabriel, 4-3 transfers. If getting Gabriel, if selling Saliba to get Gabriel is the only way you can do it, fine. But I don't rate that at all, really. At the end, football is about who scores more. That is true. Yes, I believe that is the case. Start Struijk, Hill, or Senesi. Struijk. Side Gabriel. Yeah, Struijk. Why would you be so confident in Palmer? He's been horrible like Saka, and I'm also concerned about his minutes. Well, when people say that, like, why am I so confident in Palmer? I'm not really. I'm just choosing not to sell him. I'm choosing not to use a free transfer to sell Palmer before he plays Forest at home. There's a difference like between bringing him in and selling him, right? -8, no. For Watkins and Cunha for Haaland and Dewsbury Hall, no. Remember pre-Wildcard 32 when you were skeptical about James Justin? Yep. Bench 1, Thiago, João Pedro, or Tavernier? João Pedro, out of those probably. Should I play Gross over Tavernier? If you want to. Are you most likely to transfer Gabriel in or roll? Right now, probably roll, but I don't know. I might, like, when the deadline arrives and you start thinking, okay, I actually have to make the decision now. Maybe the decision will be, I just can't go without Gabriel. But I think I'm going to roll. Do we expect a leak for Leeds versus Burnley? Not really, but you could get one. Yeah. Bowen or Sarr for Hill, player 352. If it has to be one of them, Bowen. Is a rank rise of 1500 to break into the top 10k attainable by the end of the season? Yeah. Price out of Saliba, out of Gabriel. Would you do Senesi to Saliba? Absolutely not. Would you do Brobby to Calvert-Lewin or just hold as differential? I think that probably comes down to how many transfers you've got, because I think Sunderland's fixtures are okay. They're playing Wolves this week, right? If you've got a few spare transfers, I'd probably do it, but I think it's okay to hold him. Wait, why start Struijk over Senesi? Burnley at home. Money isn't a problem. Shard or Tavernier? I mean, probably Tavernier. Depends how many weeks we're looking at. Possibly Sharda this week, but Tavernier for this week and the week after. Bench Saliba or Tavernier. Saliba probably for me. Problem with not getting Gabriel now is that not sure who and how many Palace next week, so seems passive not to do it now. Yeah, but you can just figure the Palace problem out next week, right? Bench one for draft. Watkins, Sharda, Casemiro, Stack, Robbie, Gyökeres. Probably Casemiro out of them. Bench in order for Mukiele, Hill, and Justin. Probably the reverse order of that, to be honest. So Justin first. Like to play. Should I start Mavropanos or João Pedro? João Pedro, sell Senesi to Gabriel, or Rayan to Eze and bench Neto? Probably do the Rayan move. What did you miss? Nothing really. Is Sarr a better pick for 36 and 37? I think he's probably a little bit better now they've won 3-1, but I mean, he could still get rotated. He's already missed 2 of the last 3 in the league. What's the most money you ever received from one super chat? £500. Would you do Goodmanson to Saliba? Probably. I currently have Petrovic in. Should I double up with Hill or play Tavernier? I'd play Tavernier, even if your goalkeeper was different, to be honest. Krupi or Wood? Krupi this week. Bench boost with Dubravka, Rodon, Mainu, and Wilson. Look, there's 4 weeks left. Are you going to get a better bench than that? Like, you've only got 4 weeks to decide. Look at what your bench is for the next 4 weeks and just go for the earliest one. That's the best. So if you've got one that's like slightly better later on, but not by much, I would just play it now. I'm on wildcard 35 and debating Sarr or double defense. I'd probably go double defense over Sarr, but Sarr's also fine. Start Hill, Tavernier, or Hinchelwood. Tavernier. News on Semenyo. No news. Wasn't mentioned in the press conference at all. If you had Bogle in your team, would you start him ahead of Senesi to get triple leads? Probably, yeah. Is Sarr better to have than Eze for week 36? Yes. We all know Haaland will blank now and João Pedro will get 2 goals. I mean, I wouldn't hate that at all. Haaland's going to be super high owned, and I would absolutely take 2 goals from João Pedro. Of course I would. I'm taking a punt on Calvert-Lewin for captaincy. What are your thoughts? Yeah, again, probably top 5 if you want to captain a differential. I quite like him. Him and Palmer, probably. Raya or Darlow? Rob T calls it close. I go Raya. I mean, I really like these defenders this week, but I also like Arsenal more. How many points are you behind the leader? I'm not sure, to be honest. Probably about 100. Way too much. That's for sure. Is Semenyo to Cherky okay if you got 5 free transfers? Yes. I mean, you got to use it on something, right? God, I wish I had 5 free transfers. I'd be doing Senesi to Gabriel and probably João Pedro to Thiago. Gyökeres is a definite for the next 4 weeks. No, Havertz might be back soon. Best defenders for wildcard. Probably double Palace, O'Reilly, and then pick 2 others. Maybe like a Leeds defender for this week. Double Chelsea is pretty mad. Is it? Again, like, I don't know if I would buy double Chelsea right now, but I'm not going to use one of my 2 free transfers to sell them before they play Forest at home either. Why are you holding on to Palmer? For the reasons I just mentioned. The form of Gross is unreal. Hard to ignore. Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to have a great second bench, you know? If you get down to that, happy days. 100 points still got a chance. 0 chance, honestly. Start Gross or Sarr? I'd probably start Gross. Who would you play out of Hill, Van Heck, and Tavernier? Tavernier. Gilden's chance to play this week and hold Ross. Who's ROS? Is it Gross? I don't know who ROS is. Gordon's chance to play. I think there is a chance. I don't know if it's a very good one, though. I think he might be on the bench. We're so starved of good quality attacking football. These games feel better than they are. The other night was special, but nowhere near the best game ever. Yeah, it was a really good game. I mean, PSG had some really great games last year as well. I mean, everyone like uses it to like bash the Premier League and stuff. I think it's a bit harsh, right? It's a knockout game, so it's slightly different than a league game. And I don't think Premier League teams have as much chance to rotate players as like PSG and Bayern do. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe they do, but it doesn't feel like that. Like I heard James on Planet FPL on Wednesday got a question about, you know, why is the quality so good compared to like a League Cup match? But I mean, the League Cup, like it's like the 4th worst competition, right? In England, like that's the one teams would prioritize the least. Whereas Champions League, obviously, you prioritize it a lot. So it was a really good game, but it was also a knockout game, right? So that definitely helps. But obviously there is intent from both teams just to attack. Hopefully it's the same. I really hope the second leg is similar, because that's the kind of games you want to watch for sure. Who's ROS? Oh, rest of season. Oh, and hold him the rest of the season. Well, you don't have to decide now whether you're going to hold him for the rest of the season. But I think if he plays, then yeah, it's viable to hold him. Have same team as you, just have Gabriel over Hill, who to bench, Senesi. Top of my league and on bench boost this week, I own 3 City, Gay, Semenyo, Haaland with 1 free transfer. Would I be crazy to get O'Reilly instead of Gay? Not crazy, but I don't think I would do it. Get Saka now or Rodgers first and Saka in 37 on wildcard. I'd be tempted just to get Saka now. I can bring in either O'Reilly or Haaland. Haaland for captaincy. Would you go to a back 4 if you purchase Gabriel? No, I would just play Gabriel over Senesi. Sorry, I would just play Gabriel because I would be selling Senesi. The reason why I think Richarlison will start the rest of the season is because Solanke will miss at least 2 to 3 games. Look, I agree that there is a chance Solanke doesn't play the next 3, maybe even all 4, right? Because it's a hamstring problem. He's a player that always seems to have a bit of an injury, especially, well, at Spurs anyway, not at Bournemouth necessarily. But we don't know that for sure. Could Richarlison end up playing left wing even if Solanke comes back? Maybe, but since the press conference, I'm a little bit less sure about Richarlison, is all I would say. But if you're confident in the minutes, back yourself. Would you change anything in your wildcard team 3 days ago? I've not really thought about it since. So unless there's any players that were injured, probably not a huge amount. Message a while ago in here, say how your videos help my mental health. Glad to hear it. Hope you're doing well. Feeling so much better. So I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. I don't get how my videos could help that, but if that's what you're saying, I will take that. And I'm glad that's the case. Do you prefer smooth or crunchy peanut butter? Can't say neither. I just don't really like peanut butter all that much. I mean, it's fine, but... would you sell Cucurella for Gabriel? Yes, probably. Yeah, pretty much. Should I do Thiago and João Pedro? I've got 3 transfers, nothing to do. If you've got nothing to do, why not use one of them for an upgrade? Will João Pedro start? I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Do I start Krupi over any of Chow, Van Dijk, or Dewsbury Hall? Probably Van Dijk. It's Man United scoring at least 2. Come on. Why vice captain Palmer if he's only 3rd best choice for captaincy this week? Because I want to go against Fernandes, basically. So I think deep down, I think Fernandes is a better pick than Palmer because of how consistent he is and stuff like that. But for my personal team, if Haaland doesn't play, I want to go different with Palmer. Although, do I? Now I've said that, I mean, do I actually want to do that? I think there could be goals in this. I'm going to change it back. The thing is, if Haaland did miss out, would I actually be comfortable with Palmer? I don't know if I would. Did you see Harry's overthinking tweet about Semenyo? I think someone linked it, yeah. Yeah, look, Semenyo's a weird one because we don't really know why he wasn't in the squad because he never got specifically mentioned. We haven't seen him in training pictures, but I don't think there's been a huge amount of training pictures released for City this week. So yeah, look, maybe there's some worry there. Like if you're really worried about Semenyo, just sell him to Cherky, or just like if you've got a good bench like Hill, just play Hill over Semenyo for 1 week and then decide next week what to do. I think that's fine. I mean, even if we knew Semenyo was definitely starting, you could maybe make a case to start Hill anyway. So if you want to take the risk out of it, just play Hill. But I mean, how much risk is there of Semenyo not starting? I don't know if it's a huge amount really. I mean, I really don't hate this. My God, I can't. Oh, come on. It won't let me click the button. Like, that looks fine, right? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Playing Hill over Semenyo. But it does feel like no one's really been talking. I mean, I guess the reason no one's been talking about it is because they've been waiting for updates in the press conference and training pictures. But it does feel like one of those things people are just starting to worry about, but just to have, not to have something to worry about, but because it's just getting closer to the deadline, just like everyone was all of a sudden worried about Gakpo last week. Yeah, I'm not worried enough to switch him, so I'm just going to play him. But I do like the 4-3-3. I don't know how I'm really not getting my words across very well. I'm not saying there's nothing to worry about, but I think the amount we should be worried about it should not play any part in what we're going to do this week. Does that make any sense? Christ. I like the 4-3-3 better when Gabriel is in it. To be honest, if I'm going to play Hill, I actually quite like just keeping Senesi and go all in on Bournemouth. Which KP snack is your favourite? Like nuts and stuff. Is that what you're asking? Bench one. Oh, bench one. Enzo, Tavernier, Bruno Fernandes. Come on. No, I'm not having these questions. Do you know what? Bench Haaland. There you go. That's definitely who I would bench. Haaland. Out of those 8 players, Haaland would be the first one I would bench. Come on, you're not benching Haaland. I would probably bench. I'd probably bench Enzo out of those. Bench one, Hill, Strauch, or Darlow. Well, Darlow's a goalkeeper, so Hill. Bench boost, Dubravka, Van Dijk, Anderson. Yeah, again, lots of bench boost questions. My answer is always going to... I mean, that's a horrible bench boost, right? Van Dijk against Man United away, Anderson against Arsenal away. Surely you're going to have a better bench than that in the next 3 weeks, no? If you had Enzo instead of Gross in your team, how would your lineup differ? I'd probably have Enzo first bench and Hill second bench, I think. Justin on wildcard or Strauch want differentials. We'll go Justin then. Strauch's probably safer, but at the moment with the injuries and doubts at Leeds, Justin's probably just going to keep starting for now. Start Hill or Cucurella. Hill. Bruno G, differential and pens. He's fine. He doesn't have penalties ahead of Gordon. Bruno G is just Rice, but slightly worse, I would say. On wildcard, Saka and Richards or Eze and Munoz. Ooh, Saka and Richards. Current team, I've got my wildcard left. Okay. Lemens. I mean, seems like quite a good week to wildcard probably for you. I mean, that team's pretty good, to be honest, for this week. But, I mean, that team is pretty good. I don't know when you wildcard, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, if you're happy with that team, maybe wildcard next week and just get the Palace players in then. That's not that bad, really. Or even wildcard in 37. Get Palace players in next week, then wildcard out of them in 37. Bench boost, Dubravka, Wilson, Munoz, Van Heck, or hold it. Again, maybe I should put a banner up somewhere. Like, with bench boost, I mean, hold it. I don't know what the rest of your team is. I don't know what your bench looks like week to week. I don't know what your transfer plans are next week and how that affects what your bench looks like. So I can't really help all that much with these bench boost questions. Like, you've got 4 weeks left. Which week do you have the best bench? Now, ideally, you want to use it sooner rather than later because, you get to game week 38, there could be more rotation. That's not a great week to use it. But if it looks miles better in 38, I'd be tempted to wait. There is obviously risk with that. So you tell me, when will your bench look better than that? If it doesn't, then use it. I don't own Haaland, have Semenyo and O'Reilly, Doku for the differential. I mean, I would go Cherky personally, but I would probably just want Haaland, ideally. But if you're going without Haaland, then probably Cherky. Doku's not a terrible differential, though. I don't hate it, but I'd rather have Cherky. Bench 2, Van Dijk, Senesi, João Pedro, Mukiele and Van Dijk by Cherky or Tavernier. Cherky. You captain Cherky with no City. Not over Haaland for me, but I don't hate it. I'm wondering whether to wait or not. Yeah, I think wildcard, that wildcard question, you could wait, to be honest. Like, your weakest player is probably the goalkeeper, right? By Cherky or Tab... Oh, yeah, sorry. That one. I think I'd be tempted to wait on that wildcard. I think that team's quite good this week. It's mad that you're in game week 35 and you might still wait on wildcard, though. How would you fund Gabriel if you had 4 transfers? I've got 3.6 million in the bank. If you had 4 free transfers, would you still be leaning more towards rolling? I'd probably just get Gabriel, to be honest. I mean, I'm even tempted to do it right now. Oh, no, I'm not muted. Not muted. Wildcard 35, bench boost 36. Henderson, Justin, and Bryce/Eze over Bruggen, Saliba, and Sarr. I mean, for oh no, wait, you've got okay. Oh my god, I don't know. Henderson, Justin, and Rice/Eze over Bruggen, Saliba, and Sarr. Oh god, I don't know. I think I prefer the Verbruggen, Saliba, and Sarr one. I think just about start Raya or Darlow. Raya, Calvert-Lewin and Rogers, Bowen and McGinn, chasing rank on wildcard. Calvert-Lewin and Rogers, I think. 5 free chances. Would you do Senesi to Gabriel and Semenya to Cherky? I don't know if I would do Semenya to Cherky, but I think it's fine. If you want to do it. Like I'd rather have Cherky right now. Like, and I'm not really sure what all these transfers are going to be used for, to be honest, unless injuries and stuff and rotations start happening soon. I don't think there's going to be that many teams on the bench. Sorry, on the bench, on the beach over the next couple of weeks either. Rob T actually did a great graphic on that. And like Man United could theoretically be on the beach really quick or really soon, but I still don't think it's going to matter that much to the minutes of Bruno. 37 months. Your team, Senesi plus Gabriel, 4 free transfers. What would you... Oh, no Senesi, Gabriel. Roll, probably. Gabriel for Senesi or Hill. I'd probably do Senesi just for the extra money. Yeah, I did answer that, yeah. I would probably just get Gabriel. How confident are you with that double Leeds defence? Burnley new manager. Yeah, the problem is the manager's still managing the same players, right? I mean, pressure off, sure, but there's a reason they've been relegated. I mean, I really just try and not overthink these things. I've got 2 defenders playing against the worst team in the league. What is there to think about, really? I mean, like someone said to me earlier, I don't know why you're so confident in double Leeds defense. Like Burnley could score, and I just thought, yeah, of course Burnley could score in the same way that Fulham could score, or Palace could score, or Everton could score. You know, like anyone can score, but we're playing odds, right? And it's Burnley. They're terrible. They've been relegated for a reason. So if they score, so be it. Like I really like that's just complete overthinking, in my opinion. Eze or Rice on wildcard? Rice for the safety of minutes. Eze if you want to take a bit of a punt. What do you think about bench boosting with triple captain still in hand? I've got triple Bournemouth. I mean, if you've got triple Bournemouth on your bench, you should probably be bench boosting. Again, when will you have a better bench than that over the next 3 weeks after this week? Like, there's for people that have got bench boost left, I'm not sure there's really a huge amount to be thinking about. Like, you've only got 4 weeks to go and have a look at what your team will be, you know? And ideally, you don't want to save it till the final week, I don't think. So you've only got 3. Bench in Burma or Alderete? Alderete. Casemiro must have. Not really, but he's fine. I love all these people that basically got the same team at different transfers. They're not sure what to do. If you have 4 free transfers in Gabriel, would you do João Pedro to Thiago? Maybe. I mean, it's a reasonable move. Yeah. On Gabriel, game week 36 defence, Brighton has a lot better odds of clean sheet than City double, Palace double. How does Gabriel start either than in a 5 defender line? Why does it have to be 5 defenders? 1 City, 1 Palace, 1 Arsenal, 1 Van Heck, back 4. Unless you want to buy 2 defenders, but obviously that's up to you. I mean, this is the same conversation as yesterday, right? If you've not got space for Gabriel, don't buy him. On wildcard / bench boost, Watkins versus Bowen. Watkins probably because of the next 2 fixtures. Double Arsenal defence versus double Leeds defence. Double Arsenal. Okafor versus Tavernier. Will Bruno G start? Probably, yeah. I mean, I think they have to get him back in that team. Like, in playing regularly. Didn't he start the last game? Yeah, he started the last game. So I don't see why not. Oh, God, Bruno G is definitely scoring this week, isn't he, after everything I've said? Bench 1, Welbeck, Bowen, Szoboszlai. Probably Szoboszlai out of those. Gabriel is not playing. He's my captain. No, I'm pretty sure Gabriel will play. Do you think Rodon is playing him or Hill? I suspect Rodon will play, yeah. Yeah. Especially if BL... I mean, BL was apparently seen in training, so he might be fine, but he is a slight doubt. So if it's between him and Rodon, presumably Rodon will just go straight in. Not a guarantee, though. Oh, also, Goodmanson's out as well, right? So as long as they continue with the back three, Rodon will have to play because Justin will play left wing back. Do you think Okafor's starting? I'm not so sure, to be honest. I think my bet is that BL will start and Okafor won't. That's my guess. It's a pure guess. I've got no information. I'm just going on what we know. Is Van Heck over Palmer in Tavernier crazy? Yeah, probably. I definitely wouldn't do it. I don't like ever saying anything's completely crazy, but it doesn't sound great to me. Wildcard, Gibbs White or Eze? Had Gibbs White 2 weeks, want to fade buyers. Eze then. Yes, Rodon should start. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Bench one of Welbeck, Gross, Semenyo. Probably Gross. O'Reilly, Van Heck, 2 Palace, Gabriel, but that's on 36 after bench Tavernier. Yeah, I know. But is this not the same stuff we went through yesterday, though? I mean, I agree. There's not that much space. Like, if I don't buy Gabriel, I'm probably getting 2 Palace. If I get Gabriel, I'm probably going 1 Palace. All my chips left. How should I play them? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I've not looked. I'm going to be completely honest. I've not looked at any strategy that involves someone having 4 chips left with only 4 weeks to play. A lot of it will probably depend on how your team looks this week. I guess, like, okay, this is my gut instinct. I've thought about this for 5 seconds. Wildcard this week, bench boost 30. Wildcard this week, bench boost 37, triple captain 36, free hit 38. Would probably be my thinking. I've not looked at it at all. Bench Strauk or Senesi? Senesi. This is the week to go differential. Is it, though? There's always next week. Got to outscore my min league by 50 over the next 4. Okay. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, it's probably already lost, but you never know. Bench Bruce and Eze and got Cherky versus min league leaders, mostly Semenyo. Nice. Nice. Good luck. I'm on wildcard and have bench boost. Who to get from Palace? Probably Henderson, Lacroix, and then one more. Munoz, probably for me. Maybe Sarr if you want an attacker. Triple captain 36 if you still have it is the banker. Yeah, if you got no other chips to play. Bench Gross or Tavernier? Answer is on screen. Thoughts on Cunha, play or bench? Probably bench, I would side with. Bench boost on -4. Wilson to Cherky, Anderson to Justin. Bench is Kelleher, Dango. Nice. In Burma, Van Dijk. Would you -8 to sell Van Dijk? No. No. João Pedro or Thiago? Thiago. Triple captain Haaland or João Pedro or anyone else? Triple captain Haaland, but next week, not this week. If you had Igor Thiago instead of João Pedro, would you captain? Nope. Thoughts on stack on wildcard? I quite like that as a cheap pick. Yeah. Am I keeping this team up till deadline? Maybe. Find out in an hour, I suppose. Is Szoboszlai nailed on penalties, or could Isak now be on penalties? Isak could be on penalties, but I suspect it's Szoboszlai with no Salah. He did miss one, right? And then he said, I'm paraphrasing a lot, but he missed one and basically said, I'll take the next one. This was before Salah was back. So I think he probably takes the next one. If you had Gabriel, who would he start for in your team? Senesi. Because I would have Gabriel over Senesi. I think that's really straightforward, no? Like, if you've got Gabriel, or maybe it's not. Nah, Senesi's a good pick. Maybe it's not that straightforward, to be honest. And Senesi could do really well, and Strauk and Burnley could score, you know? Burnley could score. Who is better, Saka or Eze? I'm going to say Saka. On wildcard, Frimpong, Cash, or Lewis Potter? Brentford, probably not Lewis Potter. They've still got City away and Liverpool away to play. Frimpong, I mean, I would rather have Van Dijk, I think. Frimpong's not even nailed on. I think it has to be Cash. he's got 2 horrible fixtures, 37, 38. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't buy any of them on wildcard, but cash, I guess, for the next 2 if you have to. Stack over Tavernier on wildcard. That's reasonable, yeah. Have Calvert-Lewin and Strouk, nice. Did you see Spurs release Peppa Pig merchandise? I saw something about Peppa Pig, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. Have you done any watch-alongs this season? I want to say no. I'll probably do one for Game Week 38. I'll probably go triple stream on Game Week 38. Lacroix or Munoz? I think Lacroix is probably safer for minutes, marginally. But I'll say this. If I only buy one Palace defender next week, I'll probably just go for Munoz for the attacking potential. Can you give me 3 differential midfielders for wildcard? Saka, Eze, and... I don't even know. We've already had this conversation about differentials, and I struggled earlier. Who did we decide earlier? Saka, Eze... I mean, Wilson from next week, but he's not that good this week. I feel like there was someone else that someone mentioned earlier. Doku? I mean, yeah, Dewsbury Hall's fine, I guess. I wouldn't get Cunha. Gibbs White's not a differential, and it's Chelsea away. Saka, Eze, and then I'm like Doku. There you go. I'll leave it at that. Start Senesi in the back 4 with Gabriel, O'Reilly, and Strouk, or start Tavernier. I start Tavernier. Have Verbruggen, Dango, Lacroix, Creepy on my bench. Would you bench boost with these? Going to bench boost next week with likely 2 Palace and 3 City. Yeah, but the 2 Palace and 3 City will be in your 11. So who's actually on your bench next week? Is it better than this week? I mean, Lacroix is pretty nailed for minutes, but if there's any risk of him not starting, it's probably 35. Otherwise, the rest looks pretty good to me. So if you're not going to have a better bench than that, go for it. Oh, Rodgers, yeah. I don't know if Rodgers is a differential, but not. I wouldn't say he's massively owned right now. Yeah, I'll say Rodgers, Saka, Eze. Maybe Doku if you want to go different with your City player. Is Creepy worth playing over Rodgers or Calvert-Lewin? No. Not for me. Saka and Canva or Sarr and Saliba on wildcard. It should probably be Sarr and Saliba, but I would be tempted to go the other way. But I think the logical answer is Sarr and Saliba. Gordon's still injured. He's back in training. Have Gordon starting with Chow, Van Heck, and Dewsbury Hall on the bench. Bring on Chow. Chow would be the safe pick. Like, because you definitely start, right? Gordon might not. I think he's only been training for a few days. I think Chow's the safer pick. How about Captain Gibbs White? No interest whatsoever. Chelsea away. Would you start Van Dijk or Szoboszlai? Szoboszlai for sure. Brighton players now worth considering as Newcastle have been struggling. It's still Newcastle away though, right? It's not a great fixture. Semenyo and Cole Palmer for Rodgers and Cherki got 4 free transfers. I'd probably just roll, to be honest. Semenyo to Cherki if you really want to. I'd rather have Palmer than Rodgers this week, I think. Despite him playing Spurs, Rodgers. What would be your captain if you had wildcard? Erling Haaland. Is captaining Gabriel crazy? No. If you had Gabriel and Senesi, who would be on your bench? Verbruggen, Hill, Gross, and Van Heck. Isn't Chelsea away a good fixture these days? We'll see. We'll see. If Palmer does well this week, would you keep him for the remainder of the game weeks? Maybe, but it's not really dependent on how well he does this week. Like, he's got Liverpool away next week, which is not great, but the 2 fixtures afterwards are nice, but the Spurs game's after the FA Cup final. So, like, I might do Palmer to Saka in 37, but it won't really have too much impact. Like, what he does this week won't necessarily play a big part. Burnley can score. Remember, I bought Munoz and Palace lost 3-2 at home, but definitely anyone can score. Chance is very low as Burnley's relegated, but they can score. Don't forget that. They will score now. My prediction this week now is Burnley going to score 3 goals and Bruno Guimaraes is going to score a hat-trick. And Gibbs White will probably score 5 goals as well against Chelsea away. Bench boost, Krupi, Juve, Bravka, Senesi, -4 Juve to Justin. I'm not sure I would do that. I mean, that seems like a pretty good bench. Are you going to have a better one? You have an unserious Palmer bias. I'm just not selling him, really. That's it. I'm just not selling him before Forest at home. Seems fine. Bench 2 of Lewis Potter, Okafor, João Pedro, Krupi, Semenyo, Tavernier. Probably Lewis Pot. It's tricky, right? Because you want to play Okafor, but he is a slight doubt. So I think I would bench Okafor and Lewis Potter, I think. Start 2. Dewsbury Hall, Wilson, Mavropanos, Van Dijk. Oof. Dewsbury Hall and... Oh, God. Probably Wilson. I don't like it. Incapiate is nailed on wildcard. Can't go Saliba because of money. But what about Calafiori, though? That's a problem. I don't like Palmer. Should I bench him for Gross? If you want to, yeah. Why not? I've got triple captain and wildcard. Do I roll with a good team? Yeah. If you can't make any meaningful upgrades on wildcard, then why not roll? It does seem a bit strange to hold your wildcard till game week 37, I won't lie. Like, okay, here's the thing, right? Actually, there is something to think about there. So you're going to roll triple captain 36, wildcard 37. But is your game week 36 team also good? Because if not, I would wildcard this week to leave the triple captain open still for next week, but also to make sure you got a good team next week as well. What makes Haaland away to Everton a better captain than Igor Thiago at home to West Ham? He's just got much superior goal threat, basically. But otherwise, not a huge amount. I think Haaland's almost double the goal threat of Thiago. I know Thiago scored a lot of goals this year. I know. And he did get a lot of chances against Man United. But yeah. So that's the question, right? Does the fixture outweigh the superior goal threat? If you don't think so, go for Thiago. I don't hate it this week. Excusez-moi. Pick one. Raya, Bogle, Stack, Darlow, Justin, Saka, Eze. Oh, Raya, Bogle, Stack, Darlow, Justin, Saka, Eze. I mean, the more interesting one is Darlow, Justin, Saka, I think. Are we certain Palmer is ready to play the full 90? No. Not certain. What would be your strategy if you got... I mean, if you've got wildcard bench boost and triple captain... I mean, I'd probably wildcard this week to bench boost in 36 or ideally 37 and triple captain in 36 if that works. I'm going to be honest, I've not looked at it at all. I've not looked at wildcard 35. Well, I have actually, the team that I put up the other day was not that bad for bench boost 37. So I don't hate that. Wildcard 35, bench boost 37, triple captain 36. I think if you're wildcard in this week, I'd rather set the bench boost up for a week later just to get the triple captain in. What do you think about Mbermo, Chow, Van Dijk, Krupi to Calvert-Lewin, Strauko, Riley, and Cherky? I'm looking to bench boost this week. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, the players you're bringing in are big upgrades, to be honest, overall. Is the fact that Thiago got 0 XG versus Man United a flaw in the XG model? Not really. What's up from New York City? Same squad as yours from the free hit. Oof, except Thiago instead of Calvert-Lewin. 2 free transfers left, no chips. Sit on Thiago or switch to Calvert-Lewin. There's no way I'd sell Thiago to Calvert-Lewin this week. If you had Gabriel instead of Hill, who would you bench? Senesi. Start Ampadu or Welbeck. Captain DCL, play for the win. I'm not sure that's going to help me win. Do you think there will be rotation at Villa? I don't think there'll be much because they still need to get Champions League wrapped up. And if any, like, it's a tricky one, right? Because in some ways you think, well, they're 1-0 down. Maybe they'll rest players to make sure they get the win. But also, if they're 1-0 down, that means there's less chance to get into the final. Therefore, their only route to get to Champions League will be through the Premier League. So they need to get that secure. So I don't think there'll be much rotation for the Spurs game. I think they'll want to get top 5 wrapped up. We all know Villa are going to get top 5. But until it's mathematically done, I don't think Unai Emery will take it for granted. They've got to get Champions League. And you can't rely on winning the Europa League for that. Not when top 5 is in your grasp. I would not do Palmer to Saka this week. They are guaranteed. I love that. They are guaranteed, and then the next word is almost to get Champions League. Please stop. So what you're saying is they're not guaranteed. Captain Bowen, Watkins, Gabriel, or Cherky. Out of them, Watkins. 2.9 million in the bank with 2 free transfers. Bench boost with Van Heck, Minte, Justin, and Dubravka. Minte, Justin. Is Justin really on your bench? Should I stick or change / upgrade any? I have no Palace players. Triple City. Why do you need to get Palace players this week? Am I missing something? I think that bench is okay. Again, I don't know what else to say. With the bench boost, will you have a better bench? I don't know what your team is. So will you have a better bench the next few weeks? If not, you've got to use it at some point. Truefair or Justin to start? Justin. I think generally, if they're going to play, I'd play your Leeds defenders over Bournemouth one. Play Chow, Lacroix, or Van Dijk. Chow, I think. What transfer am I going to make for the double game week? Not sure yet. Not sure. Probably get at least one Palace defender. Do we think João Pedro and Palmer will actually start this week? Why wouldn't they start, to be honest? Like, they don't play till Monday. I mean, Palmer, maybe there's some slight doubts because he was on the bench in the FA Cup, but I think they both start. Bench 2, Konzet, Gay, Dango, Rogers, Krupi. Probably the 2 defenders. Current rank 32k, no chips left. What should I aim for? Top 10k. I mean, just keep trying to get points and hope for the best. I don't know how many points you are behind top 10k, but who do I start between Senesi and Tavernier and give an explanation why? Tavernier attacker, really. That's it for me. They're both pretty good. Goodmanson injury hit me hard. Play Kadioglu or make a transfer. Have 2 free. If I don't, the thing is, Goodmanson's no good for you next week either. Best differential is Semenyo. I wouldn't captain Semenyo. Calvert or Palmer. I'd probably go Palmer, I think. I think like if you could do Goodmanson to Gabriel and you don't own Gabriel, I'd probably do that. Otherwise, I'd maybe just roll it. What do you think of Brighton midfielders on wildcard? I think they're a reasonable choice. I think the fixtures are pretty good overall. Hill or Enzo first bench? Enzo for me. Hill or Truefair? I'd probably, even though Truefair's done really well from an attacking point of view recently, I'd probably just still pick Hill for the Defcons. No news on Leeds. Is Gibbs White essential? No. People asking about differential captains. Palmer, Calvert-Lewin, Thiago. I like all of them. Cartel are benching cement. Oh, God, the cartel stuff's so incredibly boring. Sack it in for Palmer. Not this week. Maybe 37. I mean, maybe 36, actually, but I don't think I would do it this week. Should I put Senesi or Hill? I mean, flip a coin. I'm going to play Senesi, but they're both good. Just get Gabriel. You've got 4 transfers. Start Raya or Darlow this week. Raya for me. Eze captain is tasty. No penalties. Doesn't take that many set pieces. The minutes aren't great. Not sure. Not sure about that, to be honest. Is Welbeck a minutes risk? I don't think so, to be honest. Not really. I think with a week in between games, he should play for the most part. Who should I buy? Watkins or Gyökeres? Probably Watkins for the next 2. Any angle on guys who are on frees versus guys that have longer term deals? I think about Senesi being on a free this summer and maybe not playing as hard. That I agree. If Bournemouth get to a position where they got nothing to play for, that could happen where Senesi gets benched. More so than Hill, just because he's not going to be there next year. I don't think that's something to worry about right now, but it is a possibility. I don't think there's a non-zero chance of that happening. Semenyo to Cherky, luxury moves, fine. How far am I off the top 100? I'm not sure, to be honest. I've not really been checking, so I don't know. I'm further off the top 100 than last week, presumably. Although maybe not by actual points. Potentially not. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free transfers, João Pedro to Thiago. I don't know if I would do that. I think I'd rather roll. 3 free trans Based on your team, when would you triple captain and bench boost? Bench boost I've not thought about at all, so I don't know. You'd have to look through. Triple captain 36. For my wild card, Saka, Dewsbury Hall, or Rogers/Rice. Saka, Dewsbury Hall. Start 2 of Enzo Cement. I will say, by the way, for anyone buying Saka now, there is some slight risk with the minutes next couple of weeks, I think. He probably does start this week, but I don't think it's a certainty, and he probably gets subbed early. So don't be annoyed if that happens, if you want to take the risk on him. Start 2 of Enzo, Semenyo, Tavernier, and João Pedro. Probably Tavernier and João Pedro, I think. Saka or Eze. Saka if you can afford it. I probably wouldn't use 2 free transfers and sell Palmer to get Gabriel. Barna traffic was horrible. Oh my god, I don't think I could ever live in Barna because of the traffic. It would do my head in trying to get anywhere near town. I mean, Barna's a lovely place, but traffic, oh my god, no thank you. If you got Gabriel, who would you replace in your backline? Senesi? Pedro Porro on a wild card? I don't think so. I don't hate it, right? They've got a couple of okay home games, like Everton at home game week 38. They're obviously going to have a lot to play for. I don't hate it, but I don't see me picking him on wildcard personally. Are you going to bring in Gabriel before the deadline? I think I'm not going to do it, but I'm quite scared. The thing is, right now, it doesn't matter if I bring Gabriel or not. It's 42 minutes to the deadline. It doesn't affect me. But as you get closer to the deadline, I'm going to see how much the fear gets me. Who to bench? Cucurella, Tavernier, or Hill? Cucurella out of them. Well, I will say, right, I do think Hill is just better than Cucurella. But if you wanted to play the differential, Cucurella is hardly owned at all. Ren Moore, nice, nice. Calvert-Lewin or Bowen? Calvert-Lewin. Best forward on wildcard alongside Haaland and Calvert-Lewin. I would probably go for Thiago. I don't hate Welbeck either. I think the next couple of fixtures after Newcastle are not bad. Best punt this game week. Oh my god. Probably... I was going to say Aronson, but I don't know if I believe that. Who's the best punt this game week? I mean, Saka, probably. I feel like I've said Saka so much he's going to blank. Saka or maybe like a Dangle or Sharda against West Ham. I mean, I don't know if Watkins and Rodgers really count as punts, but they are playing Spurs at home. Do you expect Jadon Anthony to moonwalk against Leeds this week now that FJ is managing Burnley? No. Backline consists of Gabriel, Strauch, and O'Reilly. Play Tavernier or Hill. Tavernier on bench boost. Risk Hall playing or bring in Saliba. I'd be tempted to bring in Saliba. I think that's just a good move anyway. Would you play Okafor if he was fit instead of one of these players? Strauch, Hill, Palmer, Tavernier. Bournemouth, no. Sorry, Brighton, no. Well, maybe Welbeck over Hill, but maybe. I'd play Okafor over, if he was definitely fit, over Hill probably. Cucurella to Gabriel seems like a no-brainer. It's a pretty good move, yeah. Keep Watkins for 35 or get Haaland in, no wild card. I'd probably be tempted to get Haaland. 4 free transfers, Semenyo to Shirky or just roll. I'd probably roll, but I think it's viable. Bit of luxury, but it's okay. I have Dewsbury Hall and Gakpo on my bench. Would you play one of them over Mukiele or Alderete? I'd be tempted to play Gakpo over Alderete. Bench 1, Semenyo, Cherky, Tavernier, Palmer, Bruno F, Thiago, Haaland. Probably Tavernier out of those. Oh, hang on. No, Semenyo. Start 2, Munoz, Hill, Wilson, Njai, Chow. Oof. Hill and Njai probably. I want Senesi to Gabriel too, but I think you're better off holding it until you want to get double Arsenal defence. I don't know if I agree with that, but I get it. I get it. 2 Bournemouth defenders or Leeds, Ampadu. Wait, hang on. I'd probably play the Bournemouth defenders over Ampadu. Bench 1 between Enzo, Tavernier, and Semenyo. I'm going to say Semenyo. Is Semenyo going to play? Hopefully. Bench one between Enzo, Tavernier, and... Oh, I just did that. Semenyo to Cherky is reasonable, but it's very luxury. I would only do it if I had lots of free transfers. And even then, if I had 4, I'd be tempted just to roll. Cunha and Semenyo to Saka and Cherky. I mean, take into account what I just said. Saka's fine, yeah. Over Cunha. Any risk at all that Semenyo doesn't start? I mean, he's a Man City player, so is there some risk? Yeah. You had 4, you said Gabriel. Yeah, but that's different to Semenyo to Cherky. Have we already discussed captain? I mean, lots of people have asked about differential captains. Someone asked me why I'm captaining Haaland over Thiago. That's not very helpful. What's not very helpful? I mean, that could be about anything for the last hour and 20 minutes, to be honest. You're going to have to be a bit more specific. Double Bournemouth defenders or 1 defender and Tavernier. I'd play Tavernier over the Bournemouth defenders, I think. Rodgers or Eze? Next 2, I prefer Rodgers. Maybe go Rodgers for 2, then move to Eze if you can afford the transfers. Hill or Chow? Hill. Hill. Starting Gross over Senesi or Rodgers. Not for me. If you really want to play Gross, then I'd probably start him over Senesi. Is Okafor a good pick? If you don't own Okafor, I wouldn't buy him. Just because of the doubts. Calvert-Lewin or Thiago to buy. I actually think Calvert-Lewin might be slightly better, you know. Just because he doesn't play Man City away next week. Game week 36, do I move to Munoz, Cherky, and Rice, or Saliba, Lacroix, Cherky, or Munoz in Cap? I wouldn't go in Capier. Probably Munoz, Cherky, and Rice, I think. Is there any time frame on Timber? Not that I've seen. Is Ben White worth? I just wouldn't risk it. The only defenders I would buy are Gabriel and Saliba. If we had a time frame on Timber, it might be a bit different, but I just don't think it's worth the risk. What's stopping you from moving Semenyo to Cherky? Is it the fear that Semenyo could do better? I just don't think Cherky is a big enough upgrade to use one of my 2 free transfers, to be honest. I'd rather have... Like, there's lots of players I'd probably rather have than my team. Or in some areas, anyway. But it doesn't mean it's worth using a transfer on. Thoughts on Casemiro? Solid enough pick. Probably wouldn't buy him before Liverpool at home. Although I hope he scores another goal. Or 2. Early Leeds news. Not that I have seen so far. I wouldn't be expecting Leeds leaks, to be honest with you. They might happen. But I wouldn't be counting on it, basically. I would make your decisions assuming we get no news. And then if we get news, that's a bonus. This is my wild card. What do you think the plan is to bench boost 36? Okay, let's see if there's any bad players here. Goalkeeper's good. Gabriel good. Munoz good. O'Reilly good. Richards good. Van Heck good. Bruno, Gross, Saka, Cherky, Dewsbury, Thiago, Haaland, Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, sounds pretty good to me. I mean, you're probably going to be bench boosting with like a Thiago against City away, but it's fine. It's fine. Like, I don't think you can get a perfect bench boost, really. When you factor in everything else you got to think about, like the doubles and getting a good team this week, etc. A few people asking, like, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I'm probably going to buy at least 1 Palace defender. That's it. If I don't get Gabriel, I might get 2. If I get Gabriel, it'll probably be 1 max. Maybe I get to next week and decide that I want Sarr. I don't know. But he's not really in my plans at the moment. If BO is on the bench, what percentage chance do you give him coming on? Not that high, but it's not 0. I'm in the same position as you, but have 1 more free transfer than you. Would you do Senesi to Gabriel? It's a reasonable move, yeah. Gabriel is a differential. Is quite. I don't think Gabriel's a differential though. Is he? I would guess that his ownership's quite high. Like most people already own him, and I mean, okay, he's probably more differential than he will be in 37, but I don't know if you can call him a differential. He's also the second highest transferred in defender this week. So yeah, I mean, again, Gabriel's a good pick. So if you want him, just get him. Have one free transfer, Gabriel for Senesi TI. I'd probably just roll. Yeah, his ownership will be lower, like I said, but I don't know if he's at differential status, but I could be wrong. I don't know what his effective ownership was last week, to be honest. Don't know how high it was. Oh, last week wouldn't really matter, would it? Because of free hit. Yeah, I don't know. Game week 33, maybe. Are you worried not owning any Arsenal this week? I'm worried about not owning Gabriel. Not really anyone else. Stupid to wildcard Bowen and Thiago to bench boost next week. Calvert-Lewin. I would go Calvert-Lewin over both of them, to be honest. Is there no temptation to bench Semenyo? I mean, if you told me he wasn't going to start, I definitely would, but probably not. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's lower than he's going to be next week. He's lower than he's going to be in 37 for sure, and lower than he usually would be. I think that's fair. Aside from Haaland and Calvert-Lewin, what other attackers are long-term holder? I mean, you could argue Thiago because you would just play him against City and then have him for 37 as well. Welbeck is also not that bad, I don't think. Cunha to Eze, and Cucurella to Gabriel, or roll and do it in 36. Cucurella to Gabriel is pretty good. Cunha to Eze is also pretty good, I think. While Arsenal prioritise Premier League or Champions League, I don't think they'll. I don't think there'll be a thing where they rotate that much either way, to be honest. Not with players like Gabriel and like Saka and Eze, maybe, etc. I would expect mostly full strength in the Champions League, then mostly full strength. I mean, the Champions League finals a week after the game week 38 anyway. So once this semi-finals out of the way, it's just Premier League. There's not really going to be any prioritising. Start one of Dallo, Rich, in my opinion. Start one of Dallo, Richard, Sarr, or Wilson. Sarr benching. Yeah, I agree. It's a horrible decision, though, isn't it? All round. Oh God, I don't know. Wilson or Dallo. That's a horrible decision. I'm tempted to say Dallo, to be honest. What would I do if I had one more transfer? I would either roll or buy Gabriel. The same as if I've had 2 free transfers. Is price the only reason you're starting Palmer? Is there any real justification over Bournemouth or Brighton? I don't really care about form. Like, part of the reason Gross did well is because he got a bit lucky and he had a double game week and Burnley away. Now he's got Newcastle away. Palmer's absolutely nailed as well on penalties. Well, I say absolutely nailed. I'm pretty confident he starts, and you've got to back yourself a minute sometime, right? McFarlane said Palmer's a doubt. I don't think he did say that. Because if he had, that would have been everywhere, and I've not seen. You're the first person I've seen say that. So I suspect he's probably fine. I'd be very surprised if Palmer doesn't start, honestly. So I think there's quite a bit of justification for starting Palmer over Gross. Underlying numbers are better. He's on penalties. Better fixture. He's at home. Will City prioritise Premier League over FA Cup? Yes, I suspect so. But also, by the time the FA Cup comes, there'll be another 2 games that have been played. So I guess you can reassess, right? Like, if City somehow lose the next 2 and Arsenal win the next 2, maybe it's slightly different. Don't expect that to happen, right? But it's a scenario that could potentially happen. Pick 2/3, 1 benched. Oh, pick two out. Okay. Enzo, Semenyo, and Tavernier. I'd bench Semenyo. Can only play 2 strikers from Thiago, Haaland, or Calvert-Lewin. Oof. Why? I mean, it's got to be Haaland, then probably Calvert-Lewin because it's Burnley. Struijk or Hill. Struijk. If you had Gabriel for Hill, who would you bench? Senesi. Semenyo. I kind of wish I hadn't done the Gabriel to Hill move now because then I wouldn't have a decision to make this week. I would be down on points, but still. Semenyo / Matoma to Cherky and who? Gibbs, White, Dewsbury Hall, Eze, Casemiro. Eze, but I'd be tempted to keep Matoma. Will Sunderland get a clean sheet against relegated Wolves? I'm not sure they will, but you should maybe just bench Roost anyway. Gibbs White or Bruno Guimaraes? Probably Gibbs White. Well, it's not great this week. Can understand Gross with the underlying. What do you think about Palmer versus Welbeck / Hinchell? I mean, Hinchell would no chance over Palmer. Welbeck, again, maybe, but the fixture's worse for Brighton. You're not going to get me to say I would bench Palmer over a Brighton player. It's just not going to happen. Palmer might blank, so be it. I would make the same decision next week. Bench Ampadu or Gross? Probably Ampadu. Bench 1, Semenyo, Welbeck or Hill? It's Hill or Welbeck, I think. I'm tempted to say Hill, but I don't particularly like it. Play Gross or Semenyo? Answers on screen. Are we all sticking with Semenyo? No, some people are selling him. I'm on wildcard. I think the question I can see the most is if you had Gabriel, who would you bench? I feel like I've been asked that 1,000 times in this stream. That's got to be the #1 question of the week. Tavernier or Senesi's also been quite high. I'm on wildcard. I have Rodgers with the plan to move to Bruno G in 37. Should I just get Bruno G now? No, I get Rodgers, I think. Gay or O'Reilly? O'Reilly, I've got 7.4 in the bank. Would you swap Alex Scott for Sarr or Palace or bring in Fernandes? I'd probably just get Fernandes and get Palace players next week. I think punt on captain in Cherky. I don't hate it, but I prefer Haaland. Is that shirt legit? Looks more gold than yellow. It is. It's the green screen that's playing with the colours. It's very much yellow. I need differential captain, Saka or Palmer. Palmer. Wouldn't it be nice if we saw the Cole Palmer of old? 5 free transfers, 0.6 in the bank. João Pedro change. Thiago, probably. You've got Gabriel. Okay. Bringing Calvert-Lewin for Creepy for a -4 if I'm on bench boost. No, I don't think so. Plan was bench boost 35. Bench boost Darlow, Scott, Tavernier, Hill, but I have BL and Semenyo 2 who are uncertain. Is Semenyo actually uncertain? Or are we just worrying over nothing? I don't know. The rest of the team is pretty template. I've got 4 free transfers. Yeah, I don't think I would delay the wild card. I mean, if anything, I would just sell BL. You got 4 free transfers. If you're really unsure, just sell those players because the bench is pretty good for you this week. I wouldn't delay it because then your bench gets worse, right? Start BL or Hill. I'd probably start Hill just for the certainty. I think BL will start, but I would just take the guaranteed minutes. I think. Creepy for captain, no chance for me. Pick 2, Hill, Semenyo, João Pedro and Semenyo. Exact same team as you, but 3 transfers, Senesi to Gabriel. Yeah, that's a reasonable move if you want to do it. Like, it's a reasonable move with 1 or 2 free transfers as well, you know? I feel like, honestly, I think this team is completely rollable, but just buying Gabriel because he's great is also... like fine. It's like buying a player because they're great is probably a good use of a transfer, and that's what makes me so tempted just to do it. Do I really care about having 2 Palace defenders next week? Like that's ultimately the decision here. It's basically Gabriel instead of Senesi this week, and then one Palace defender next week, or it's two Palace defenders next week. Gabriel in 37. I guess Gabriel also saves a transfer as well. Going two Palace. No wait. Gabriel means two transfers next week. One Palace is two transfers in 37. Skipping then using two. Oh no, it's the same amount of transfers. Yeah, of course it is because yeah, one Palace versus two. I don't think Arsenal are paralysed by fear. I mean, they just got a clean sheet against Newcastle. You buy Gabriel, you have to bench someone else. No, I just Senesi just goes to Gabriel, and I bench the same players I'm already benching. Palace defenders aren't even that good. Yeah, this is part of the problem. But you know what? It's the last double game week. Maybe I just go with the Palace players. I'm not going to be able to watch the Arsenal game. In some ways, that makes me feel a bit better about going without Gabriel. I'll check at 7:30 and see what the score is. Rodgers or Gibbs White? Rodgers, and Anderson or Dewsbury Hall or Casemiro? Dewsbury Hall, I think. Pick 2, game week 35 and 36. Rodgers, Watkins, Stack, Calvert-Lewin, Gross, Welbeck. Rodgers and Calvert-Lewin. Bench 1 of Hill, Semenyo or João Pedro. Hill. 40 points behind in min-league. Most will captain Bruno or Haaland. Do I need to differential captain? Yes. Probably Palmer or Calvert-Lewin or Thiago. One of those three. 40 points is quite a lot in 4 weeks. Semenyo to Cherky, if not, why? Well, Cherky's better, but how many free transfers do you have? One free transfer. It's not worth it. It's just a luxury move. There'll be other more interesting stuff to do, I think. Play Enzo or Tavernier. Transfer in Cherky. You already have Semenyo and Haaland. Yes, if you're happy to go with that, O'Reilly. Start in Burma or Krupi in Burmo. Buy Gabriel and captain him is the way to go. I'm not going to captain him, even if I buy him. To be honest with you. Currently on wildcard, would you pick Welbeck or Thiago alongside Haaland and Calvert-Lewin? Would you pick Welbeck or Thiago alongside... Oh, 37. Probably Thiago, I think. I do think Welbeck is reasonable, though. But probably Thiago. Senesi can match Gabriel. Maybe. Look, I'm probably going to roll. I think I'm going to roll, and I'm going to go for 2 Palace next. I might even just go for 1 Palace next week still. No, will I? No, hang on a sec. I don't think that works, because if I go for 1... Hang on a second. Hang on. Have I not thought... Let's say I roll this week, and I bring in 1 Palace player next week. Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, I can still do 1 Palace. The thing is, if I do 2 Palace, I'm not even sure who I would bench. Tavernier, probably. Or Palmer. Yeah, I think I'm going to roll and just... I'm going to leave the decision to next week. But the thing is, Gabriel is just a good pick. He's just a good pick. Have you reached 50 grand in each stream this season? Give or take a few thousand, yeah. 50 grand a stream. Yep. For the whole... Up until, like, now. I never said I was going without Gabriel for the rest of the season. Just said this week and maybe next week. I'm definitely going to want him for 37. Would you captain Bowen or Watkins if chasing? Watkins out of the 2. Wildcard, Gross, Wilson or Matoma. I think Wilson if you can bench him this week. Start Dango or Krupi, who's best? I think I would go Dango. Play 2 of Mateta, Rodgers, Anderson, Saka, João Pedro. Saka and Rodgers. Roll more info. You might end up not needing Gabriel. The thing is, right, for a lot of players, that is good advice. But with Gabriel, that only applies if he gets injured. Because if he doesn't get injured, I'm going to want him for Burnley at home. I just do not see me risking that. Because my defence doesn't actually look that good for game week 37. So the want to get an Arsenal defender is going to be huge. Did this brother just say 50k a stream? No. I mean, you got to give or take a few thousand here and there. If in doubt, roll the transfer. I know, but it's Gabriel. He's so good. He's so good. Roll or get rid of João Pedro for Thiago. Yeah, I quite like the João Pedro to Thiago. I think bringing in Gibbs White's rubbish, honestly. If you get, I mean, the thing is, I should be sat here completely calm, rolling, because Gabriel should have got sent off against Man City and then be out until game week 37. Imagine if he gets injured. I mean, if he gets injured, then obviously not buying it would have been a good move. But I mean, they have got Champions League midweek. If you had 3 to 4 transfers, would you get Raya and Gabriel in? Maybe Gabriel. I don't think I would get Raya. Palmer for Tavernier or Hill or bench. I would bench Hill out of those. Captain Calvert-Lewin. If you want to go differential, why not? Semenyo, Palmer, João Pedro. I would go Palmer over Calvert-Lewin, but I quite like both. Play Trufair or Hill. Hill. Start Hill or Semenyo. 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 Cheapest nailed Arsenal defender. Saliba. I also have Palmer. I don't have the confidence in him as a pick. If you sold him, where would you go? Saka, maybe? Oh, you need money. I don't know. Where would I go from Palmer this week? Eze, maybe? The thing is, I like Eze's differential, but I really don't know if I would go for him. Because I'd be worried about the minutes. Rice, maybe? Sorry, 50,000 great Irish euros. No, euro. No S. There's no S on. Just euro. Yeah, it's euro instead of pounds, so it's not quite as good as it sounds. Why Senesi over Hill? It's a coin flip. Go for Hill if you want to. Like, I've just had Senesi for a long time. I feel kind of a bit attached to him. His attacking threat's pretty decent. Hill's been better for DEFCON since they played together, so you could use that as a reason to go for Hill. Coin flip. Genuinely. Would you bench Ampadu or Welbeck? Ampadu, I think. I have a feeling Bruno's going to be cooking. I hope so. Hopefully he gets 2 assists against Liverpool, minimum. Gets the record, gets the win. Have I been to County Mayo? Yeah. I know you don't play this way, but you will 100% be moaning about Arsenal defence ownership next week with a clean sheet. 50k is great regardless. Why would I be moaning about Arsenal defence ownership next week? Like, moaning? Will I? Don't think so. I mean, will I be talking about Arsenal defence? Maybe, but not sure I'll be moaning about their ownership. I don't know what more you want me to say. I think Gabriel's a good pick. I think if people want to buy Gabriel, they should probably just buy Gabriel. On Gabriel, what if the league gets decided by game week 37? Yeah, if it does, but I don't. It's not going to be over by 37, I don't think. And also, if it goes to 38, then I think Arsenal players are actually quite good for 38 as well, because Palace will rotate if they're in the final, 100%. Start Welbeck or Enzo. I'm going to say Enzo. Semenyo or Cherky? Cherky. If you had the same team, it's that you already had, I'd roll. How strong am I on Tavernier over Gross? I've got no interest in playing Gross over Tavernier, so that's strong. Best forward under 7.5. I think Calvert-Lewin. My short-term concern is João Pedro returns. The fixture is decent, but he's been very average. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can sell him if you've got the spare transfers, but it's a bit of a luxury. Sometimes fixtures will bring returns. You know? When was the last time João Pedro returned in the Premier League? Game week 29. Remember when everyone bought him in after the hat-trick and he didn't return since? That was I found that funny at the time because I didn't own him. But now I don't find it quite so funny. Hopefully, Palmer and João Pedro score 4 between them and Forest win 5-4. If you were on bench boost, would you sell Semenyo to Cherky or risk it? I'd probably risk it, I think. I would play Semenyo over Gordon. I'd be shocked if Gordon's not in the squad, but start, I'm not so sure about. Gabriel, Munoz, Stroud, O'Reilly, drop 1. I mean, that's really easy, drop Munoz, I think. I know how attacking he can be, but there's got to be some risk about his minutes this week. Less than 15 minutes till the deadline. Don't forget to buy Gabriel. Why is Tavernier a good pick? Decent value, decent team, nailed on, minutes are good, might take penalties, good fixture this week. Oh, someone's donated 3,000 Arsenal. Nice. Who would you sell for Haaland? Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about selling Haaland. Who would you sell for Haaland, Bowen, Thiago, João Pedro, or Roll? Oh, sorry. I would sell Bowen, probably. I don't think I would roll that. Best Crystal Palace players for each position. Sarr, Mateta, probably, but I don't like the forward at all. Henderson and Lacroix for minutes. Love the concept. Keep doing it forever. I don't know about forever, but I might do it for one more season at least. Best striker under 7.5. Oh, you got Calvert-Lewin already. I think Welbeck then. Captain Calvert-Lewin. I don't like it over Haaland, but as a differential, sure. On wildcard, Welbeck or João Pedro? Welbeck. Gay or O'Reilly? O'Reilly. Am I buying Gabriel or rolling? I am doing one of those two things. I think I'm still feeling the roll. Oh, I hate it. Going without Gabriel is so stupid. What are you going to do with your 3K Arsenal? I don't know. Maybe buy a Guinness? Would you rather gain 1 million engaged subs or win FPL? I mean, 1 million engaged subs. Sure. Do this for a bit longer then. Now, if it's 1 million engaged subs and then you can never win FPL ever, that's a bit different, maybe. Maybe we should spend the last 15 minutes or 30 minutes talking about whether you'd press red or blue. That seems to be what's occupied everyone else the last couple of days. Bench boost, Semenyo, Scott, João Pedro to... Oh, sorry, you're on bench boost. Semenyo, Scott, João Pedro to Cherky, Rogers, Thiago, -4. I wouldn't take a -4 to sell Semenyo, personally. 2 free transfers, João Pedro to Welbeck, no chance this week for me. I'm sure Cover just joined. Why Bournemouth over Brighton? Better fixture. And also, Palace might rotate. Same team as you, but Sleeper instead of Hill. Got 5 free transfers. Feels bad to burn one. Yeah, I would be doing Senesi to Gabriel. Would you consider Semenyo to Cherky on bench boost? Yes, but I probably wouldn't do it. Start 1. Munoz, Lacroix, Gross, Dewsbury, Hall. Gross. João Pedro on wildcard, not for me. What would you do if you weren't a content creator? I wonder if I'd still be working at EA, to be honest. I always liked it there. Never really had any major reason to move other than I wanted to do FPL. Have you played The Witcher 3? Very, very, very briefly. At the moment, I'm just back playing WoW, you know, spamming some Mythic Plus. I need a tank and or a healer to come and run my mage through some stuff. Do you have a job or is this your full-time gig? I do have a job. This is it. You worked at EA? Yes, like a long time ago. Long time ago. Like nearly 7 years ago now. Mental. Oh, you can't go for Welbeck. Under 7.5. Oh, come on, Oliver. You're making this difficult for me. Best forward under 7.5, but I cannot buy Calvert-Lewin or Welbeck. I mean, this is not great, I don't think. I mean, does it have to be actually under 7.5? Honestly, I'm not liking the options at all. Sheshko, but I mean, he's playing well, and the minutes have been good recently, but there is some risk there. Plus, it's Liverpool. Evan Nielsen. Probably Evan Nielsen, but I'm not. I mean, as you can tell, I'm not really enthused at that. Yeah, if it's selling João Pedro, I would just stick with him rather than buy one of those players. Current bench: Kelleher, Dewsbury Hall, Wilson, Anderson from Fulham to Van Dijk, Chow, Roofs, and Krupi starting. Any changes? I would play Kelleher over Roofs, I think. The rest looks okay. I think if you can start Dewsbury Hall over Van Dijk, I would do that. Got same team, but have Gabriel, not Hill, bench shoes. Senesi, bring in Saka, Eze, Sarr for Scott. Sarr probably because of the double. Otherwise, Saka. Differential captain, Gabriel, Watkins, Thiago, Bowen, Rayan. Definitely not Rayan. Thiago for me. Oh, can you order them? Thiago, Watkins, Bowen, Gabriel, Rayan. Can you tell Gary Murphy Gaz is going to beat him? Gaz, you're going to... Oh, sorry, no. Gary, you're going to get beaten by Gaz, apparently. Saka or Gibbs, what on wildcard? Saka, best minute-space player for Villa this week. Rogers, Senesi to Gabriel, 3 free transfers. Perfectly reasonable move. Gabriel is great. Get him if you want to get him. Rolling's also fine, but can you actually go through the game week without having Gabriel? Ask yourself that. How bad are you watching that Arsenal game at 5:30? How nervous are you going to be? How much is it going to ruin your weekend? Is Bowen under 7.5? No, I don't think so at this point. Do you think Rodon will start? Yes. Thoughts on PSG versus Bayern? Great game. Really enjoyed it. To be honest, some of the best matches I've seen over the last couple of seasons have been basically PSG. The game against Liverpool when they lost 1-0, they were so good. When Gabriel scores a header versus Fulham, you know you're going to be fuming. I mean, yeah, it won't be great. I mean, sometimes you don't own players that score, you know. Playing wildcard, or that do score. Playing wildcard, how about Ayari instead of Hinchelwood? Not for me. I think I'd go for the number 10. Rather never eat pizza again or never eat pasta. Pizza, probably. You know the move has to be made. I mean, I should just get Gabriel. I should probably just get him, but I think I'm... You were at EA. I was at Bullfrog from 95 to 2000. I mean, I was at school then, to be honest with you. So I was there a while after that. I do have an hour to buy Gabriel. To be honest, you say that right. Knowing how things have gone for me, Gabriel will get a clean sheet wipe and 9 defcons, but not everything's gone well. I mean, lots has gone well for me. But obviously, there's lots of luck involved. Maybe the luck ends this week by not buying Gabriel. Darlow, goalkeeper, drop 1. O'Reilly, Cucurella, Strauch, Senesi, Cucurella. Risk BL or transfer in Lacroix. Lacroix is also a risk, I think. If someone asked you about Gabriel, you'd say buy. Well, that depends who for, right? I don't know why I said an hour. Yeah, we got about 8 minutes. I must have said that, by the way. Start Munoz or Lacroix? Munoz, I think. Your mic is muted. It's not. Maybe you've muted. Maybe you've muted. I don't know. Like yourself, I mean. You're going to regret not having Gabriel. Possibly, yeah. Can you say happy birthday to Luke for Thursday? Happy birthday to Luke for Thursday. Okay, I said 1 hour. I get it. I made a mistake. There's 7 minutes till the deadline. Relax, people. Relax. Chill out. The mic keeps dropping. Yeah, I'm definitely going to I'm definitely going to sort audio for next season. I think I need a preamp. I need someone to help. I think I just need to buy a preamp or something. Oh. Michael Jackson tonight. That is true, yeah. Michael Jackson. For Burnley. Same team as you. Same team as you. 3 free transfers. Should I do Senesi's Gabriel? Probably you should just do it. Gabriel's great. Is there an argument to play Hill instead of João Pedro? Yeah, I think so, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to play the attacker, I think. Ampadu / Welbeck bench. I would play Welbeck. Gordon to Mbermo / Tavernier and Minos to O'Reilly for a -4. I wouldn't do Minos to O'Reilly for a -4. I'd probably hold Gordon rather than buy those two. Calvert-Lewin or Bowen, Calvert-Lewin, Darlow or Roofs, Darlow. Palmer to Rogers or João Pedro to Watkins or Tammy. Watkins probably from João Pedro, but I'd actually just roll that, I think. Oh, maybe I should just... yeah, Gabriel is the safer play. Any last-minute team news? Not really, I don't think. No, I'm not still solid rolling because there's 5 minutes to the deadline. I kind of want Gabriel. Truth Error over Tavernier. Not for me. Why Gabriel when free transfers to use next week in the double? But Gabriel's good, isn't he? Like I said earlier, it's Gabriel and 1 Palace defender, or it's 2 Palace defenders. Do I really care about having 2 Palace defenders? I mean, it's the same amount of transfers, I suppose. Is it? It is. Right, I worked this out earlier. No, because if I go Gabriel and Palace, I've already got Gabriel in place for 37. So I'd have more free transfers, wouldn't I? Have I completely balls this up? I think I did the maths wrong earlier. So if I get Gabriel, And then I get one Palace defender next week. I can't get I can't get Munoz if I get Gabriel. Slight issue, maybe. I don't know. Who do I bench? Okay, if I get Gabriel, I'd have 2 free transfers going into 37. No, if I don't get Gabriel and then get 2... No, it's still 2 free transfers. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hang on. I know where I'm going wrong on this. I know where I'm going wrong. It is still 2 free transfers either way in 37. Apart from one scenario, I'd already have Gabriel in place. So I'm saving a transfer in 37 itself, aren't I? Yeah, because I would want to buy Gabriel. Oh, I don't know. I just... Right now, I just don't have any love for Palace. I think I'm going to roll, but I am hating it a little bit. And the panic is setting in a bit now because we're closer to the deadline. Gabriel doesn't complicate 36 for me. It just means I buy one less Palace. That's all. I mean, I could just buy one Palace next week anyway, even if I don't go for Gabriel. Like, that also works. Same team but Gabriel over Hill. 5 free transfers. What to do? João Pedro to Thiago or something like that. Semenyo to Cherky. Wildcard, Stack and Wilson or Okafor and Hinchell with Stack and Wilson. Play Rodgers or Sarr. Rodgers. Bench Welbeck or Tavernier. Welbeck. I wouldn't probably captain João Pedro if that's what you're asking, personally. You need a custom rolling emoji. Yeah, I probably do. This is my highest rank ever, although it's going to go down when I don't have Gabriel. I just don't know if I want... I think I should just get Gabriel. I'm going to want Gabriel in 37. He's going... Oh. Do I really care about 2 Palace defenders next week? Do I really care about 2 Palace defenders? Get Gabriel. Yeah. Hang on. Maybe I should just get Gabriel. I can't afford Munoz, though. That kind of sucks. I could just get no Palace next week. What's the chances? Hang on, 1 minute, 40 seconds. Arsenal are 3 points clear, but City have got a game in hand still, but the fixture run's rubbish. What's the chances it's over by 37? Not very likely, right? Rob T tweeted this out earlier. Okay. It's just going to be annoying if he does really well, and then I'm not going to buy him next week either. Yeah, Rob's got, like, on the beach by 37. I'm just going to get Gabriel, I think. He's going to come in anyway. Right, done. 1 Palace player next week, maybe. I can't afford Munoz now. It's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying. Look, if Bournemouth keep a clean sheet and Arsenal don't, so be it. So be it. Gabriel will score more than Munoz between now and 37. Don't know about that. Yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? Because Senesi could also do really well this week, and then Munoz could outscore Gabriel next week. I'm not sure that was a good move, you know. I think rolling was probably the better move, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel great about that, but it is Gabriel, so I don't think it can ever be a bad move, right? Heartbreak for Senesi. Senesi's been in my team since game week 4, and I sold him like that. Yeah, I don't think there was a right or wrong, genuinely. Obviously, one of Gabriel or Senesi will do really well, and it could look really stupid or really smart. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel... Like, it seems weird to bring in Gabriel and not feel great about it, but... Come on, Palace. Come on, Palace. Gabriel has 2 fixtures before you really want him. Exactly. That's why rolling was fine. That's why rolling was fine. I don't know. Deadline's done, by the way. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure to give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. Why not? Should have sold Palmer and Hill. Probably not. Gabriel in 37 is irrelevant. What do you mean is irrelevant? You sound sad. It's because, I mean, I probably always sound like this because I never know if I've made... You want Gabriel points now, 37 just cover. Or because you mean everyone else is going to bring him in then? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I was always going to buy Gabriel. I don't know. I still think rolling might have been the better move. And also, I can't buy Munoz now. I can only buy Lacroix, which might end up being okay, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have just gone 2 Palace. He's going to get in. I mean, if Gabriel gets injured now, that's just super frustrating, of course. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never feel great about the transfers. That is true. I can't even watch the Arsenal game either, I don't think. Will I watch Leeds Burnley tonight? I don't know. You could do Palmer to Sarr, Hill, Strout to Munoz. Yeah, I don't see that. Do you know what? I wouldn't say that's completely off the table, you know. Does any member level get access to the members only stream? It's the top 2 levels. Do you know what? I know I've said this before, but next year I might just get rid of the base. I might just get rid of the base level, or just make it more obvious which one is the one. That's true. If Gabriel gets injured, I can afford Munoz. That is true. I guess if he gets injured, most people are in the same boat anyway. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, buying Gabriel was not a bad move. Like, I think, can we not all agree with that? Like, it's not a bad move. Maybe I could have rolled, but I don't think buying Gabriel is never bad. You know what I mean? I will have 2 transfers, but I don't really want to get Sarr, I don't think. And I won't have space for 2 defenders now because I've got Gabriel. Basically, if I'd rolled, I would have done Gabriel. I would have done Senesi and Hill to Munoz and Lacroix next week. What's your objective rank for? I don't really have that. I'm just trying to get points, really. The thing is, by the way, people saying with your rank when Gabriel gets a clean sheet, ownership. If Gabriel gets a clean sheet, that's bad for me now. Because I've only got 1 defender instead of 2. So I actually need the clean sheet to get wiped out and for Gabriel to score. Anyway, it's done. Gabriel's a good pick. It doesn't matter. Enjoy your weekend. I will probably be back on Sunday. Maybe. It's a 7 p.m. game, so it finishes at 9 p.m. Yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I will catch you again soon. See you later.